Hey, my name is Nour Gueblaoui. I'm an international student athlete, a tennis player, and a senior in college. I'm really excited to introduce today's guest, a really good friend of mine, Jasmine Harris, a track star, a track athlete at University of Nevada. And yeah, I'm gonna let her introduce herself. So, Jess, how are you, first of all? And if you can tell everyone a little bit about you.
Hi, well, thank you so much for having me. So good to see you as well. We met at CSF Korean Sports Forum, so that was an awesome opportunity. Got to meet a lot of cool people out of that. A
Yeah.
little bit about myself. Like she said, I'm a track and field athlete at the University of Nevada. I run the 200, mostly the 400, a little bit of the 4x4 as well. And I'm double majoring in business marketing and business management with a minor in sports management, really looking to go into that athlete representation side of things in sports, and recently just got accepted into ASU for their sports business and law program. So you'll see me there in the fall. But yeah, a little bit about myself. Thank you so much.
So, Illinois State or
No, Arizona State. Yeah.
Arizona State? Right. Okay, okay, okay. Well, we have the same sports management. Maybe we'll work together someday. I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Probably, to be
I,
honest.
yeah, I want to know, Jazz, like, how did you get started in track, right? Because, like, I know for a fact that it's so different. Because, like, tennis, I started up when I was 3. So I know for track, like, you don't really get to start really young. So how did you get started in it? And when did you start taking it seriously? Because I know it's very hard.
No, definitely. So I was one of those kids where I played every single sport like imaginable underneath the sun. I was a ski racer, I did jujitsu, I basketball, like I did literally every single sport. But one thing is my dad is a baseball coach actually, so I was obviously had to play baseball and I was really really fast at stealing bases. Like I played with all the boys too. So I was like literally I just remember him telling me like, "Oh, like you're all faster than the boys whatever." He actually went to my elementary school and had a conversation with my principal because we have such a small town, and they started a track team. And sure enough, I was like the first person on it. Ton of my
Well,
friends signed up too. So that got me into it in like third grade around in
uh-huh.
there. And then I started taking it really seriously my freshman year of high school when I like ran a time and I looked at the results and I was faster than all the seniors. And I was like, man, like I actually have like a shot at this. So then, yeah, freshman year of high school is when I really like locked in on it. But yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Because, yeah, I'm rooming with one cross country player here, athlete.
Yeah.
Like she runs like random day she wakes up and she's like, "Oh, I have 12 miles to run." I'm like, "What?" And like for sprinters, because you are a sprinter, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm sure it's way harder because like at least they can run at like a normal pace, but you guys have to sprint. And I know like you get to like be dying in a lot of practices. Like it's very tough. So I really respect that. But also like, after taking it seriously, right, and starting your recruitment process, let's say of college, like how did you choose University of Nevada and how has it been there for you? Because you're currently what, a senior?
Yeah, senior.
So tell me about that because I've changed a lot from freshman year to senior. So I want to know about your experience.
Definitely. So recruiting was definitely like that is one process that I like don't wish on anyone, to be honest. Like I think the recruiting is probably one of the toughest,
Yes,
like most humbling experiences. Like
it
you
is.
probably went through it too. And it's like you're in high school and yeah, like you're the star player, like you're the star athlete, and then all of a sudden you email 100 coaches and get 2 messages back, and one of them's like, I don't really know. So it's definitely like hard, but I chose Nevada because they were like one of the only schools that truly like welcomed me like onto their campus and was like excited to have me not only as an athlete but as a person as well. And I was like super nervous because a lot of the other schools that I was talking to was like, okay, well your first year is going to be a tryout and then we'll kind of go from there. And then Nevada was like, no, like we want you on this team, and we want to help you grow. So that's what honestly made me pick Nevada. And also it's about an hour from my house. So I was able to stay like close to my family and everything like that. But touching a little bit on like what you said about changing from freshman year to senior year, I like completely like rebranded in a sense. Like I look at everything as like athletes have a brand. Jasmine, freshman Jasmine versus senior Jasmine, oh my gosh, like two
Mhm.
completely different
Yeah.
people. And I do owe that, like, touching a little bit like on faith, I do owe that completely to God, because if I was the same Jasmine now that I was freshman year, I wouldn't have gotten any position that I've earned. And it's truly like through his like his leadership and everything. So
That's awesome, Jess. That's awesome. First, jealous about how you're 1 hour away because I'm away from home. Um, but yeah, fun fact to everybody listening to us today.
Oh my gosh.
Jess was rooming with one of my best friends from back home. Her
Mhm.
friend, I mean, they're not anymore. But like when we met, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm from Tunisia," and you said that. I was like, "There's no way, like how actually small this world is, especially in sports." But I definitely agree and feel you so much when you said you feel like you're a complete different person because it's 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 very true. Like coming into college, you never think, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be so different," and then 4 years later, you don't even recognize yourself freshman year. It's crazy. But and also like want to comment also about how you said choosing Nevada. It is very true. Like especially like I think like for you guys, like especially if you're close to there and get to like see and experience, like see the campus, really actually have a connection with the coach and talk to him, like makes a big difference. Because unfortunately, like now in college sports, like on call, like with a coach, like he'll tell you, "Oh, this place is paradise. This is heaven on earth. This is
Yeah.
the happiest here." Like there'll be no problems, everything is perfect, everybody loves everybody. And then you get to like then you commit there and you go and you're like, "Oh wow, like nothing of what he said is true." So I feel like it's very good to go and like see it by yourself and like actually know, because maybe like some schools are better than others, but it's very true, like what you feel is more important, and that's what
Mhm.
is gonna like actually make that grow and like the change that you're talking about. But that's really amazing what you talked about. But I want to know a little bit about who you are, Jazz, outside of track, because I've met you outside of
Yeah.
track.
Oh my gosh.
It's like two is I don't want to say two complete different personalities or like anything like that, but I met you outside of track, and then now I see you in season, and I'm like, "Oh my God, she is a track star." Like
Yeah.
you're on Instagram, everything I see. Yeah, tell the people a little bit about who you are outside of it.
Definitely. So this question is always like hard to me because I don't really picture Jasmine like without track. Like there's always going to be an element that's a little bit involved in it. But I
Yeah,
guess Jasmine without track is just this person who like I love to like make sure that other people are like being seen and taken care of. Like the best way to explain it is if you need somewhere to eat, you can always show up at my house. And that like it doesn't only resort to like food. Like seriously, I will say 5:30 rolls around, there's always a text from one of my teammates, "Hey, what are you doing for dinner?" But also like if you need a ride somewhere or like if you need seriously someone to sit down and just like talk to, like I'm always here and I'm always that person that will like do that with them. And that's honestly like it always like it's always a question that I like struggle with because I'm like I don't really know. I know
yeah,
myself, but I can never put it into words, if that
yeah,
makes sense. Like I definitely think that I'm very like a fun person to be around, but then also at the same time like I struggle with a bunch of things. Like I do struggle with like self-confidence sometimes. I do struggle with things that are like self-image, things that are so portrayed as so great on social media and so great during track season, but then like if it boils down to it, we definitely all have our insecurities. And I think that just like growing, I'm a person who likes to take that and like grow with it. So,
yeah.
yeah.
I love that. I love that. But I agree about it's it's not even agree. Like I know what you're talking about when you said, "Oh, I love taking care of people," because out of 200 athletes in 4 days period altogether, who was taking care of everyone, who was fun and everything, it was Jess. Every time we were like, "Okay, what do we don't know, Jess will text us, just go on what we're doing." So I love that, but like that's why I always whenever I think again about CCF this past summer, I'm like that was the only 4 days of my life where I did a lot of things where I had to like show up in a different way and everybody was seeing me, like just us, like 200 of people looking at you every day. But
Mhm.
at no point I felt like, "Oh my God," like if it was anywhere else, like even at the airport, I'm like, "Oh my God, somebody's looking at me." But I felt like we all bonded in a way where we were like, okay, like we're away from all of that. We're away from social media. It's 4 days, no social media, no, oh, what sport you play. It's like who you actually are. And then when we left, I'm like, "Oh my God, Jess is like actually like really
You're super sweet. No, and it's like I felt the same way about you, and it was like so cool because I still talk like whenever I see Liam, you always get brought up, and it's
uh,
like seriously like me and I'll talk about it too, where the connections that are made at CSF are connections that are just like so pure and so important, and people that like aren't only going to support you in your sport, not only in your career, but like literally you're giving me this opportunity to sit here on a podcast and we met for 4 days. Like the
Yeah,
connections are just so meaningful, and that's like an experience that, like we said, is so important. You just get to show up as whoever you are and just hope for the best. So yeah.
I agree. I agree. And I really hope a lot of student athletes who, like, struggle a little bit with their
Mm.
identity outside of sports, like, I hope in a way, like, they have to experience that. Like, it was actually like a life-changing experience for me, at
Mm.
least.
Yes, like truly life changing is crazy.
Other people get that opportunity. But, now talking about senior year, talking about identity,
Yes.
talking about image, who we are outside of our sports, right? I don't know what your plans are about after your senior year, if you're going to keep competing, if you're going to move on to another thing. But I want to ask you, like, now that track is closely coming to an end, or let's say if track is coming to an end tomorrow, what would still give your days and life a meaning?
Yeah. See, this is like a question that I like think about more than I should, because I have like a couple friends, they play soccer, and like, their season's like done in the
Uh,
fall, and they're going through this weird like phase of like, I am still going to the same school, I'm still doing the same routine, but I just don't have like the main part of my routine. And it honestly, like, to be 100% transparent, it scares me. Like, I'm like, what am I going to do when I don't have practice to go to? Yeah, like you understand it too. Like,
Yeah.
I've literally run track, it's always been track. Like, what's going to happen next? But good thing, like, I've always been so big on like working so hard in the moment to always secure your next opportunity. So really diving, like I really dove myself into Nevada. Like I basically, I don't want to say like, oh, I stacked my resume, but I went out and I wanted to make sure that my resume was like as top tier as it could be coming out of college. So those opportunities and those doors did open on the other side of it. So I think I told you a little bit earlier, but I'm going to be going to pursue my master's degree in sports business and law with a desire to work in athlete representation, and whether that be or a business strategy. I'm working for a startup right now too. So if that takes off, then that would be super ideal. But just learning to work with athletes like myself and kind of
Yeah.
be someone that I needed when I was an athlete, or like when I am an athlete, and just finding those gaps and being able to give the next person the next opportunity. But aside from like the running stuff, I'll probably be doing Pilates. So
He tries to join you. I heard this very hard, so I don't know how to feel about it. But no, that's awesome, Jazz. And I love to hear that because I seriously like relate so much to everything you said. Because, like I feel like, yes, I'm very scared of what's the next step is going to be, what's going to happen when I literally have 3 more games guaranteed to tennis. So I don't know what's going to happen.
oh,
I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing this
oh
summer?
my gosh.
Tennis? Do I want to throw all my tennis rackets away? Because I
Yeah.
don't want to,
Yeah.
But I definitely relate so much of like I'm putting so much work now to prepare myself for the next step. And I think even though I'm still so scared and don't want to even be in May right now because I'm like, oh my God, what's gonna happen by then? I still feel like when I remember, okay, like I worked hard and I feel like I'm kind of prepared in some way too. I like it takes some pressure away, because as you said, I also have a lot of friends right now that are seniors and they're like, don't know what I'm gonna be doing in like 3 weeks from now. And I'm like, guys, like you kind of had 4 years to,
Yeah.
prepare. So I don't know what to tell you. But that's awesome, And I feel like unfortunately student athletes like us are always seen to be like, oh, you're an athlete, you'll be fine. They don't see like the pressure that we
Mhm.
feel. And like sometimes it's not even people putting it on you. We put it on ourselves because we expect ourselves to always show up. We expect ourselves to always be best at whatever we're doing. So I want to know, like, what pressure do people not see, when you're competing or even now, like preparing your next step after track, like what people do not see because we also don't really speak about it. So I want
Ah,
a
no,
little
you
bit.
said it so perfect, and, like, the sense that, like, people really don't see anything that goes on, and, like, I think you said it a little bit earlier too, is you're like, "Oh my gosh," like, seeing everything on Instagram, and it's like, I think that the reason that I seem like I'm that good is only because I understand the athlete brand and know how to portray myself on social media, and, like, but no one sees, like you said it, it's not outside forces, it's the inside force that truly is what brings the pressure, and especially in track and field, and you probably get it a little bit in tennis too, with like having it be part of an individual sport occasionally. is your performance is on you and only you, and but your only competition is you. And yes, of course, your coaches have input, and yes, of course, your teammates have like are really good training partners, and yes, there's so many outside factors that are always pressing in. But at the end of the day, whose time is it? Whose score is it? It's all on you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like behind the screen and behind like the front that I put on occasionally is like literally yesterday or 2 days ago, I had one of the worst meets of my entire life, to be 100% frank. And the pressure that I put on myself after coming off that like line was like over the moon of now I have to take a step into areas that I've never really taken myself before to get the results that I want. And that pressure just becomes like so much. Like it does become like a top tier amount of pressure that the point where it's like, what am I going to do next? I
Yeah.
guess. And like just losing guidance in a sense of
Yes.
when that pressure overtakes. So it's learning how to like manage the pressure, which is where you really find greatness.
Yeah, I definitely 100% agree. And I feel like people don't realize, right? Even sometimes coaches, like I feel like coaches should know, but sometimes I feel like they forget. But I don't know, but I definitely know you agree with this. Where for me, like, let's say like now we played, right, yesterday. Now we have
Mhm.
like 4 days of practice for us to play again. And I feel like those 4 days, it's not about how long I'll be on court, but
Mhm.
we're not in the middle of season or how I'm feeling on court these 4 days. It's about how I'm preparing myself to feel on the fifth day. Even if I
Mhm.
so bad on these 4 days, if I'm getting myself ready on that fifth day, I'm gonna perform so well. And if
Mhm.
I'm feeling like, oh, whatever, like I should be fine. I've been playing for 4 months now, something like that. And then I'm telling you, like, I won't be even close to my normal level. And I feel like a lot of preparation goes into our mental, like, wealth, you know.
Yes.
People don't see that. Like I understand because we don't speak about it, we don't show it, but I feel like at least for me, I believe tennis is 80% mental, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
and
Like if not more. Like
yeah,
every single sport is just so mental.
it's
And
all
it's crazy.
yes, yes. And people don't see the preparation that comes into it. Um, but yeah, like also now as being a senior, right? And
Mhm.
coming to an end of our careers,
Mm.
what
Well,
been the biggest and the hardest challenge for you, you know, for your own experience? What been the hardest challenge to, I don't know, adapt to or to just accept? So, yeah, tell me about that.
the biggest challenge I say would be underperforming, I guess. Like I came out of high school like so excited to be like so good. Like I was so excited to be like, "Oh yeah, like I'm going to improve so much. My times are going to drop so much. Like this is going to be great." And all of a sudden it's senior year and I'm still stuck at the same times as I was when I was a sophomore in high school. And it's like, what's going on? And it's just like that what I definitely say is the biggest challenge. But I honestly, not even the performances, but I think that getting back up and continuing to work is what
Mhm.
the biggest challenge is. Like pulling myself, like yesterday, I was a mess because I had performed so badly. But now waking up today and having to like continue about what I find value in and still showing up to practice today and still continuing to put my all on, just like with the faith that I'm gonna perform good at the end of season is what like the what has been most challenging to me.
Showing up. That's,
Mm.
and you have to learn that in college.
Oh, so quick, so quick. So I'm like, if I gave up at every single time that I like have failed, I would have been done on day 6, I'm pretty sure. Like, and I'm being so honest, like if I gave up, yeah, I'd be done.
My birthday of practice in college in US. So,
Yeah.
no, so much of like the transition from like high school or juniors to college is like so hard because I don't know, but for me, like, how is it for you guys in track? Like, for us, tennis, like junior tennis, right?
Mm.
And then college tennis or professional tennis and college tennis is so different. Like, the atmosphere, like, how much people cheer, how much people support. Like, if you do that in professional or junior tour, like, you're disqualified. You're not playing. Like, you're out of there, you
Oh.
know? How's the atmosphere for you guys between like high school and college?
It's definitely a big change. High school was very like relaxed, I would say. Like it was you would show up, like the only people in the stands would be the other teams, like maybe a couple parents like sprinkled in. But then you get to college and like we're so blessed to have an indoor track here where it's like we attract like schools from like all across like the
Mhm.
nation who will come to run here. and it will seriously be like completely packed in there. And like when the 4x4 is going off, it is like, I mean, track's cool because you kind of just like put on, I mean, most athletes kind of do the same thing. You put on like a front, like you don't even hear anything. You're in like your own bubble when you're running. But when you take a moment and just like look around, there are so many more people, so many more eyes on you. And the atmosphere is like, from high school, everyone's there kind of just to have fun. Like maybe you'll have like a couple people who are like excited to go to the next level. College, everyone wants it. Everyone wants to be the best. And it's like that step was definitely huge, but something that is honestly earned in a sense. So, yeah.
Yeah. Do you still remember your first like ever meet or race? And how did you feel? Because I still till this day remember my
Wow.
freshman.
That
So
is so cool. I definitely want to hear about like what your first story, because I feel like with tennis, it'd be like
my
so different.
so I got to US in spring, right?
Yeah.
So directly season for me because I couldn't make it here in August.
Yeah.
So I in fourth day of practice that week I was supposed to play my first game, but fourth
Mm.
practice day I get hit with one of my teammates playing doubles and get a concussion. And
Welcome
here
to
I
college.
love it, right? And travel because it was actually bad. Like it was my first time having concussion. It was terrible. I was so scared. And
Yeah.
then my first game the second week and I play the lowest in the lineup who's like 6 or 5 or whatever. So like I play like low in the lineup and I'm expected to be this good international player. Like, oh my God, you just showed up. You better show up right now. And yeah, they just put me on court and said, good luck. And I'm like, everybody's screaming. Why is the coach? And like, cause like in college, like the coach and the player can literally talk between points. Like
Really?
in professional or junior tour, like if your coach like try to coach you in any way off court, he can be on court, first of all. But off court, if he says anything like tactical or technical, you get a point penalty. Like you get a warning, you know? So
No
I'm like
way. That is crazy.
right now and I have a concussion. Like I'm
Yeah.
so that. I was so scared. Like I was shaken the whole match. I still remember it. I felt so heavy. I couldn't run as fast as I usually can. Like it was so bad. And then my teammates love them, but it goes down to clinch somehow that day. So like it's 3-3 and the last match, which is me, is gonna decide either we win or we lose.
Oh my gosh.
And I was down when I tell you the third set, I was like down like 4-0, 4-1. Like the match is done. Like 5 minutes, I take my bag and we leave, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and I look around and everybody lost. And then everybody like lines up next to my court and starts supporting like so loud. And I'm not used to that. It's like, what do you mean you're literally right next to me, you know? And I
Yeah.
can't go, teammates are right there. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like now I actually like it because the support is coming to me.
Yeah.
And then in my head too, I'm like, Nour, like, come on, you gotta you gotta go win. Like it's your first game, got a concussion, you come in late, and it's clinch. You have to find a way. And I'm freaking out, whatever. But that like I was more focused on like how different the atmosphere was and like how cool. Because usually like even if you watch tennis professional, it's always calm. You're not allowed to speak
Yeah.
between not allowed to be loud. It's like, like, calm and stuff. And then I go there and I'm like, and I really loved it. It got me hyped up. I come back and I win 7-6 and we clinch and like,
Woo!
wow, that was crazy. Like, I don't know if I can do that right now again, but I'm happy that I got the win. But I feel like looking back, I'll always feel like that pressure I felt because it was definitely the most pressure I ever felt in my life.
I mean, it sounds like, I mean, clearly you can perform under pressure if you can like deal with that. And like that must be a huge change, like having your teammates right there. Like
Which
that's
I
really crazy.
met them like 6 days ago because,
Yeah.
well, 2 weeks ago, but I had a concussion for 10 days, so I didn't see anyone, you know?
Yeah. You're literally like locked up. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
who they are, you know? But yeah, no, like, yes, it was a big change for me. But talking about like mental discipline and mental like toughness,
Yeah.
what does mental discipline look for you like on the days you don't feel like, you don't feel motivated to go to practice. You just want to stay in your bed, like it's cold outside, whatever. So how do you deal with those days?
Definitely. Discipline is one thing that I like am always praying on. Like always there's something in my life where I can be a little bit more disciplined in something that I like value so highly because I think that discipline is what builds like greatness. But on days that I like don't want to go to practice or don't want to show up, I think about like what I would be giving up in a sense. So it's
Mm,
like if I'm like, yeah, like of course I don't want to like of course I don't want to do this workout, but this workout and going today is going to hurt a little bit less than not PRing this weekend. So it's like looking at what the outcome would be is what really keeps me disciplined. And I think that one of the best ways to establish that is through like habits. And
mhm.
if you created a habit and you create a good time schedule that goes with it, it's going to feel weird to not get it done. Like I'm kind of at the point with track, especially like senior year, where it's like just practice is the main priority and establishing those priorities and the time schedule that goes around it is what like really helps me stay disciplined.
That's awesome, Jess. And I agree because it's all about the perspective, right? Like I look at it differently, but
Mhm.
we have kind of the same goal in the end, you know, where on days like that, I'm like, this is like you only get 4 years of this or
Yeah.
5. Like, you know, you gotta enjoy it. Like you earned your spot here. Just go out there and keep showing up, showing up.
Mhm.
But that's awesome. That's a really good perspective to look at it. But talking about again, mental discipline, you know, showing up, working hard every day, pushing yourself, whatever. And then sometimes we still come short, you know,
Mhm.
sometimes the outcome of the results or we don't show up on competition day or meet day or whatever it is. So talking a little bit about faith here, what
Mhm.
does trusting God look like when the outcome is not guaranteed or when the result is not what you were planning for or what you thought you worked for?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I think that the answer to it will be, like, there's always a reason for everything, and if
Mm,
you don't see it, look backward for a second. I know that we're so focused on, like, what's next and what's forward, what's in front of us, what's to come. Well, what already happened? What did you pray on that happened? Where did he, like, make moves in your life that you don't even, like, realize that it happened? And I think that some of the biggest ones for me was, like, there was this one time where I got chosen to go to conference, like, go to our conference meet, and we
mm,
weren't supposed to go to class that day, but something was like, "Jazz, like, just show up to class, like, just go, like, you never know what's gonna happen, like, I know that you're not supposed to go," and I'm the type of person, I'm fine if I don't go to class, like, I'd be whatever, but I was like, "Something's telling me to go."
mm,
So I showed up to class anyway. Sure enough, that became the connection that got me my biggest NIL deal. The person who came and like, yeah, so my professor and I, we created like this crazy connection at this like agency. And it's like literally helped me pay for my entire college career. Like it is just so crazy and like trusting where he speaks and going to where like that happens and like where he works, which is so important, especially with like track. It's one of the like sports where you do truly have to trust what he is doing in your life
mm,
for things to work out the way that you did. And it's like track is so hard because I see in so many different little areas where it's like I performed this way good today. Like there's another meet where I like went to and I performed so badly in my first race of the day. And I wanted to go up to tell my coach and be like, no, like I'm done. Like I'm not running any more races for today. And something told me to be like, no, Jazz, go out, step on that track just one more time, even just put down a time. I ended up PRing in my other event and earning my spot to run on the conference 4x4. Like it is so crazy to just trust what he says. Cause
yeah,
if you trust what he says, everything's gonna work out in his favor and your favor. Always does. Um
amazing. That's amazing. Oh my God. You literally almost got me in tears right there because
That's so sweet.
everything does happen for a reason. And that's
Yeah.
awesome for sharing like your story about NIL and then the race
Oh, of
because
course.
it is true, you know, it is true. And again, always showing up,
Mhm.
always believing, always thinking that everything happens for a reason. And I loved when you said, if you don't realize everything happens for a reason, you just got to look back for a second. And that's so true.
Always. Mm.
Sometimes under, not even under pressure, but when you have a lot going on and when you're not like, a lot is going on in your thoughts, you know, you're overthinking, you actually don't see the simple things, but
No.
it's right in front of you, you know, and sometimes you just miss it. But no, that's awesome, Jazz. Thank you so much.
Crazy. Of course. No, there's one other time that just like reminded me that honestly like relates perfectly to this conversation is so track regionals were the same weekend as Korean Sports Forum. And
Mhm.
I was like bummed out that our 4x4 didn't make it to regionals. And I was honestly like, oh, like I kind of just applied to CSF just to be like, oh, like whatever. If I made it to regionals, Like, I wouldn't have met you, I wouldn't have met Mia, I wouldn't have met all these people in my life who are so important, and I wouldn't have made all those connections at NCAA. And, like, if I received what I wanted and not what God wanted, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be, like, where I was. Like, it's just so, like sorry, stories just keep coming up, but, like, that's literally yeah, it's so crazy the way that he works.
It is. And also, me too about CCF. I had two plans, right? In May.
Yeah.
I was like, hopefully we're gonna win conference. We were second seed. I was like, I'm
Mhm,
feeling good about this. We're gonna go to nationals. I was so excited. We
mhm.
lose in the finals. We don't even make it to the
Yeah,
finals. Okay, well, I'm going home then. And then I'm like, okay, Nora, let me just stay like a little bit, practice, try to do an internship, whatever. And then I'm so mad that I didn't go home directly.
yeah,
And then literally the week before CCF, I get the email because my thing was because of the award, and I go there and I'm like so scared, and I'm like, oh my gosh, should I go? Like, I don't want to say no to the NCAA, but I also don't want to go. I'm scared. When I saw that list of names, like, I don't want to be with a gymnast from Clemson University. Like,
yeah,
that's no. And then I go and literally have the best experience of my life, and it is amazing. Like when you just trust, what God has planned for you, and when you just fully show up and try your best, you know, and that's just so true. But we're gonna start wrapping up here because you
yeah,
have to.
let's do it. I'm so sorry. We have about 10 minutes.
I want to ask you just one or two more questions. But so, what would you say to a track athlete or just a student athlete, a freshman or high school that is struggling right now with identity or their passion or whatever it can be? Like, what would you one advice you will give to them?
One piece of advice would be don't be afraid to ask for help. Like that, like number one, don't be afraid to ask for help. And who to ask for help, that's for you to decide. Whether that be your coach to say, oh, I need help with critiques. I had a really big like problem. I wasn't asking for help my first 2 years. And then I finally like brought it to I forget who I brought it to. I think I brought it to one of my mentors. And she set me up with a therapist actually. And that has quite literally changed my entire life. Like my freshman and sophomore year, like, I was so all over the place, like, I was doing things that I shouldn't have been, I was
Mm,
not the best athlete, I wasn't the best student, I wasn't the best anything, and then I got, like, a therapist, and then also is really like, again, with the, like, God, it's like I've completely lost faith my first 2 years, and one of my teammates was going to church, and something just called me, and I was like, "Man, like, I should just, like, reach out to her and go." Sure enough, I show up, and the sermon is completely about, like, reshaping your life, and I was like, "Perfect, this is exactly where I need to be." It's crazy, it's literally, like, the way that he works is insane, but yeah, asking for, like, help outside and just like going to church and then also finding a therapist were two things that truly changed my life. And that all came from me being like, man, I recognize that there's a problem and I need to ask someone else. Cause if I just kept it to myself and I, one, didn't ask my teammate to go to church or two, didn't tell my mentor that I like was struggling a little bit, I would
mm,
probably still be the same person who was going out every single weekend and partying my college career away and not getting my grades in on time and not performing the way that I wanted to be. I would still be that person if I didn't speak up. So that's, and I have the opportunity to go back and coach my high school a little bit right now. And that's just like what I tell my girls all the time that I'm like, if you need help, come and ask me. If you need help finding somewhere to eat, tell me. Cause I'm like, we can get you the resources that you need to succeed. So
that's
yeah.
awesome. Awesome. And that just tells everything about you. Like,
So
knowing as a friend, like every word you say, I'm like, yes, that is you. That is you. That's
you're
so true.
so kind.
And just you talking about like how you already mentioned it a little bit before, how now you want to be the leader you didn't have and as an athlete before. And I'm so big on that because unfortunately, especially in college athletics right now, I do feel a lot of people do not deserve to be coaches, do not deserve to be athletic directors, do not like I'm not talking about like qualifications of like school wise or like that qualification, but I'm talking about the connections and the energy because it's like being a nurse. Not everybody get to be a nurse. Like some
Yeah.
people are you're just too mean to be a nurse. And
Yeah.
I it's the same for like athletics right now. Like not everybody deserves to be a coach. Like if you don't care about people, please just go do something else. Like you don't have to ruin everybody else. And I'm so big on that. And just one more question, Jazz,
Mhm.
talking about
That's right.
help. younger generation, right? And how that's also on your future plans to keep growing, to keep leading, to keep, helping. What legacy do you want to leave beyond your performances, your track times,
Mm.
your college career at like University of Nevada, everything else? Like just what one legacy you want to leave at the end?
That's a really good question, and I honestly, like, love how you asked that because I think it is all about, like, leaving a legacy and, like, what
Hmm.
you did to improve the spot that you were once in, and I have the opportunity right now. I'm the student athlete advisor, or no, student athlete advocacy committee, president, and then I also represent Nevada in the Mountain West, and then also I'm honored to represent the whole entire Mountain West, over 5,000 student athletes in the NCAA. So it's just, like, finding a way to prepare the next group that comes in is the most important to me, and that's the legacy that I wanna leave. Like, when I came in, SAC was definitely, like, something that it was something that no one really, like, wanted to come to, and I mean, myself included. I was like, "Sunday night, I don't wanna go sit and talk about, like, student athletes for an hour. That doesn't sound like something that I wanna do," and just taking that and working with the athletic department, because we are so blessed in Nevada. We have such, like, a great group of leaders with us to just, like, see me as a person, but see all the athletes as, like, a leader, and
Hmm.
just, like, lining it up for the next executive board to come in. And so it's like we've transformed SAC from something that, like I said, no one wanted to go to now something where everyone's lit because we get in and out when you show up to a meeting. And now it's like you're seeing the progress that's being made. And the legacy that I truly want to leave is just making it so the next group that comes in has it easy so that they can continue to grow, continue to push what SAC is. Because we've had so much opportunity to go, like, we've got to go to the Boys and Girls Club. We're planning, like, this huge, like, end of the year, like, awards banquet. Like, we've had the opportunity to go to hospitals and read, and that's something that we've never done before, and something that now the freshmen, they think that SAC's, like, the cool thing to do, which is so awesome. And it's like, if you're a part of SAC, like, now you're like, you used to be a nobody, but now you're, like, the person that everyone wants to be, which is just so, like, cool to me. So as long as the next person who comes in is excited about it, I'm excited. As long as I've helped one person in the room, that's all I care about. So that's the legacy that I want to leave in Nevada.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I can tell already, you're already there. You're already built. You're line right finish strong. But
I
no,
hope
that's
so.
like when I hear you talk every time, I like it's all about your purpose, everything you do, everything you said, your perspective and things, like it's all about your purpose. And it's amazing to hear about. Yeah, just to wrap up really quick, thank you so much. As like seriously, like I really enjoyed this and I hope everybody listening to us today like got to know you a little bit more and got to actually know who's actual Jazz brought in pictures
Yeah.
and I no, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. And yeah, if you want to have any final message to anyone, just go ahead.
You're so sweet. No, thank you so much for, like, this has been in the works for so long, and I'm so glad we finally got to have this conversation because you are just such a light, and you are so, like, so much fun to, like, talk to. And just, like, I can tell that you have so much on your plate and you continue to just push and just make the best scenario out of what's given. So it's like all props to you. The only thing that I would want to share is just my favorite verse, I guess. It's 1 Corinthians 13:2. Now, it's also Lauryn Hill song, Tell Him. I literally have a poster of it on my wall. But I may have faith to make mountains fall, but if I lack love, then I'm nothing at all. And just, like, working, yes, you can have so much faith in the world, but if you're not loving the person next to you, if you're not loving the experience that you're having, nothing's going to come true. So yeah, that's my last word, I guess. But yeah, thank you so much for having me again. You're so kind.
Thank you so much, Jazz, and thanks to everybody watching us today.